for months now, there's massive construction work happening in my next door neighbour's house, and today they're also having chainsawing done in the backyard, and I've asked for an amnesty of an hour or so, but I can't guarantee there won't be crazy noise. It's been driving me nuts.
A ceasefire.
Ceasefire. Try having a baby that keeps you awake at night and then noise all day in the house next door. It's been maddening.
Do you think in the trenches of World War I or something, every now and then they had just a ceasefire just so he could do a phone call? It's like, will you keep it down just for an hour while I could... an amnesty. I just need to make this phone call. Then you can start again.
Just so everyone can have a nap. Just a nap.
A nap.
Everyone wants a nap. So I'm pleased to announce we're about to hold our second ever bean dish quiz. I've devised another quiz for Tim.
Woo!
Tim, I love making quizzes. I don't know if there's anything that makes me happier than coming up with quizzes. It just consumes me. I think of questions while I'm out driving the car and stuff. I love it. I love making quizzes. What does that say about me?
Means you're a quiz master. That's what it means.
I'm a quiz master.
You are a born quiz master.
Yep. I had to listen to the previous Bean Dish quiz because I didn't want to double up on my questions, which I was in danger of doing.
Yeah.
And I realised last time my questions were absolutely ridiculous and unfair. And I would say this time it's more like a real quiz. Like the questions are answerable sometimes. Still pretty hard, but so I don't think it's going to be quite as ridiculous as last time, but a little bit ridiculous.
Well, hang on. This sounds a little bit like, you know, when you buy a computer game and you put on expert settings and then you go, oh, hang on, I'm getting blown away here. I can't get past this stage. I need to pop it down a little bit. I don't know if I feel a little bit offended by that comment. Like, are you pulling punches because you thought I was struggling a little bit last time?
I don't know. I don't know. I just felt like a normal quiz for some reason. It's just how things went. We'll see what you think. I would recommend, if people want to play along at home, it would be very useful to have pen and paper in this one because I've gone list crazy. This is a lots of lists quiz. It's very listy. Lots of listicles and things. So
okay.
Quite listy.
As long as you keep it on God and Nick Cave and 90s music generally.
There's enough of that. There's enough of that. Don't worry. I know my audience. There's plenty of, because there's nothing more fun than catching you out on stuff you think you know a lot about.
Well, that's true. Yeah. Yes, that's. Now I'm nervous because this is going to be like, yes.
So get your pen and paper ready, everyone, and I'll kind of make up the rules as I go and tell people what the points are and stuff. But it's nothing too serious. I will have to time you for some of these as well, so I'll get a timer ready.
Oh, right, okay.
Of course, this will be edited later, so sometimes if I say Tim has 2 minutes and it sounds like I'm not giving him 2 minutes, that's probably because I've edited things down a bit to get rid of all the stunned silence at Tim's end. See how we go. I've just made up a new question 1, actually, so here's question 1, Tim.
Yep.
Why is our quiz called the Bean Dish Quiz? Can you remember?
No, I have no idea.
Really?
I have no idea. I have no idea. And I was talking about this in the car when I was picking up one of my daughters from school going, oh, we're recording tonight and we're going to do another quiz, the Bean Dish. And I said to her, do you remember why it's called that? And she couldn't either. But I think my vague memory is it sounds a bit like it was something like you were a kid and that sounds a bit like what you thought a quiz was called, but it was wrong. Is that right? Is it something like that?
It was you mishearing me because I said to you, I've created a fiendish quiz.
Yeah.
And you thought I said a bean dish quiz.
Oh.
I said, no, fiendish.
That's classic. I did not remember that. At all.
I'm going to give you half of 1 point because you remembered that it involved mishearing. You can have half a point.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, we're well on the way. Yes. All right. I can see I'm going to like the new rules.
Okay, now we have a question about U2, the band.
Oh, yes. I've heard of them.
4 members of U2.
Yes.
I want you to list them from 1 to 4. From oldest to youngest in age.
Okay, I reckon I can do this.
You'll get 1 point for each member who's in the correct slot, the correct position.
So Adam Clayton, the bassist, is the eldest. Then it's Edge and Bono, who are in the same class, and I don't know which one of those two is the eldest. So I'm going to say Edge because he seems like the more mature one. And then Bono, third. And then I think Larry is the youngest.
Okay.
The drummer, Larry.
You get 2 points. You're right, Adam Clayton's the oldest and Larry Madeline Jr. is the youngest. But Bono is just ever so slightly older than the Edge. And you're right, those two are very close in age.
Whew. Another half potential marks. So I'm going even Stevens at the moment. Yes.
The next question is about Tim's middle name. Now, I'm not going to ask you what your middle name is for points because I think that's too easy a question. But would you like to share your middle name with the civilians?
My middle name is James.
James.
Timothy James Hine.
Okay. Timothy James Hine. I want you to tell me, don't name them yet. Don't name any, but I want you to give me a number, just a number.
Mm-hmm.
How many US presidents have had James in their name? How many US presidents have been called James?
That's a good one. You don't want me to name them. You just want me to make a guess, like add them up in my head. Is that right?
Don't name them at this stage, no.
Okay. I can think of 1, 2. I can think of 2. I could presume there's another one, but I'm just going to go with my knowledge and say there were 2.
Okay. The correct answer is 6.
Right.
So there's zero of a possible 1 point there. But I will give you half a point for each one you can name.
So James Madison and
Yep.
Jimmy Carter, I'm presuming, is a James.
Indeed.
Who else?
You want to hear them? You're not going to have a go for any more?
I'm thinking, I don't know Ronald Reagan's middle name. I know Bill Clinton is William Jefferson Clinton. Who else we got? I'm presuming Barack Obama isn't Barack James Obama.
He's Barack Hussein Obama.
Of course, yeah. Donald Trump, I don't know. He could be a James, but I don't know that. The Bushes, I don't know. One of them that's a very sort of Anglo name, so that could be the George Bushes. Well, we've got Jimmy Carter before that. Richard Nixon, I think he's Richard something Nixon. I think I've forgotten what that is, but
He's Milhouse, isn't he?
Milhouse, that's right. That's where Milhouse from Simpsons is named after.
Let me give you the answers because I don't think you're going to get them because there are no middle names. They're all first names.
Right.
We had James Madison, 1809. James Monroe, who was straight after James Madison. James Polk, 1845. James Buchanan, 1857. And then James Garfield in 1881. And at that point, a quarter of all US presidents had been called James, which is quite amazing. He was assassinated after just 6 months in office. And then we had no more Jameses until number 6, James Carter, Jimmy Carter in 1977.
Oh, that's good. I didn't know any of them, so at least I didn't miss one that I knew in plain sight.
Good to hear. Good to hear. So it's a very US presidential name, James. I will give you a bonus point if you can tell me Joe Biden's middle name. Current president.
I'm sure I must have read there somewhere, but I don't. Joe. I would have seen it somewhere, but I don't remember what it is, no.
It's Robinette.
Robinette?
Yeah, it's a German word meaning bright fame, apparently.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to chuck you another bonus point if you can tell me how many UK prime ministers have been called James. We're going since 1721 when prime ministers are said to have sort of started existing. Can you name...
Oh, goodness me.
In fact, I'll tell you, there's only one with the first name, James.
Do I know them? Am I likely? Are they in the
Yeah, I think you will.
century?
I think you will have heard of the name, yes. But it'll just be a name to you, I think. You won't know a lot about them.
No, I don't. I mean, there's Jim Hacker, of course, from Yes, Prime Minister.
I'm giving you half a point for that. But the real one is James Callaghan, 1976 to 1979.
Oh, no, I know nothing about him.
Oh, okay. There was also Arthur James Balfour in 1902, but that was a middle name.
Getting back to Joe Biden, can I say the Robinettes does sound a bit like the Supremes, like it should be a singing group in the 60s?
Robinette. But yeah, the Robinettes, yeah. It would, yeah.
They should be now the Robinettes.
Nice. And here's another chance for a bonus point, Tim. Can you tell me any Australian prime ministers called James?
Well, Bob Hawke is Robert James Lee Hawke. So he's got that in his
I'm
name.
going to give you half a point for that because that's just a middle name. But can you give me a first name for the full point?
Surely picking a middle name's harder than a first name.
Yeah, but you love Bob Hawke, so.
No, only because he was around when we were a kid. I can't think. I mean, going back, who have we got? We've had like 5 or 6 prime ministers recently, none of which are James or Jim.
You're not going to get it.
Hang on. There is. Isn't there? Oh, no, that's Jack. No, I can't.
1929 to 1932. James Scullin.
Oh, I have heard of James Scullin. Yeah.
Oh, I had not heard of him, but there you go.
I've only heard the name, yeah.
All right.
Us Jameses keep in touch. It's very...
We're moving on to a new section now, but a similar theme.
Right.
We're moving on to the topic of Nick Cave. He's an Australian singer.
Oh, right. This is like a dream. This is great. Oh, I love it.
What is Nick Cave's middle name?
Oh. Nicholas Cave. Nicholas. It is something very Anglican, very Anglo, I should say. I don't know. I can't remember. It may even be Timothy or something really obvious like that, but I don't think so.
It is Edward.
Edward. Yes, I did know that.
Right. Never mind. For a bonus point, though, in total, how many UK Prime Ministers, Australian Prime Ministers, or US Presidents have been called Edward?
How is that a Nick Cave question? I feel like every third person in Britain is called Edward. It's a common name. I guess I'm thinking royalty, so that's not quite the same thing as the Prime Minister. In fact, it's exactly the opposite to the Prime Minister.
Yeah.
How many in general? And you've added them all up. Oh, I'm gonna go out there and say like 15.
Really? It's 2.
Ah.
Do you want to? I'll give you a point if you can name any.
Prime Ministers. I can't think of any. Well, there's.
I've got a feeling you won't get.
I can't think of any presidents. I can't think of any Australians either. No, and I can't think of any prime ministers. No.
All right. Well, you could have said Edward Stanley, who was the Prime Minister of the UK 3 times, and the one you may have had a chance of getting was Ted Heath. Edward Heath was a British Prime Minister more recently.
Yeah. Okay.
And Australia's first Prime Minister was Edmund Barton.
Yes. Edmund Barton.
And Harold Holt, the Australian Prime Minister who just vanished when he went out for a swim, his middle name was Edward as well.
Oh, right.
So you're leaving the Nick Cave section with 0 points.
Oh, okay. I'm not sure we've plundered the depths of Cave there.
He's full of the breadth of his artistic creations there, but never mind. This is the next question's one that you're going to love.
Yes.
You're going to love this. This is mathematics.
Right. Great.
And starting with the first digit until you get one wrong, I'll give you a point for each digit of pi you name.
I don't know any.
Do you know the first number?
No, I don't. No, I can't recall it. I know I should know this, and on a good day I could.
Like, you don't know that pi is approximately this number, like, you know.
Yes, I know it's something point something something something, and then we go on from there.
Yeah, but what's the first something before the point?
I don't know. I don't know.
I'll tell you what pi is, right? And let's see if you can guess at least the first number based on that. Pi is the number of times that a circle's diameter, so the width of the circle from one side to the other, fits in its circumference. So if you had a piece of string going across a circle, the width of the circle, and then picked up that string and made it go around the circle, how many times do you think?
Then I would say, is it 3 something?
Yes,
is that right,
there you go. 3.
Yes.
Starts with 3. Well done.
Point.
3 point.
I'm going to say 1.
Yes. Yes.
Woo!
3.
Here we
2
go.
points. 3.1. What comes next?
3.1. Oh, this is a guess, but I'm going. This is muscle memory on the brain. 3.1. I want to say 426.
Oh, you got the 4. So you got it. You got 3 points. It's 3.141592653589, etc., etc. Max, by the way, for people who are doing the quiz and know pi off by heart, you can have a maximum of 5 points there. You can't have like 90 points because you know the first 90 digits of pi.
Brady won't mention it, but I'll mention it. He's done a mile of pi, didn't you? You did this great video that Brady's
got. The first million digits of pi.
The first million. And you printed them out on paper, is that right? And put them out on an aircraft.
A mile-long piece of paper. Watch the video on Numberphile, people. It's fantastic.
That's amazing. Yeah.
The next question is about our stakeholders, our Patreon supporters.
Yep.
How many of our current Unmade podcast Patreon supporters are called James? What's your guess?
4.
Okay. I will have accepted 10, because that's how many have the first name James, or 12, because
Wow.
we also have a last name and a middle name. 4 is incorrect.
I apologise to the other Jameses who I have
Yeah.
failed to note.
Okay.
Even though I've presumably read your names out when I did the big... Oh, sorry,
Yep.
when Tommy Ball, Tim did the big readout a
Yes.
little while ago.
All right. On the same subject, what percentage of our stakeholders are Canadian? And I'm using the test of they've supplied us with a Canadian postal address, because I can't know otherwise. What percentage of our stakeholders have supplied a Canadian postal address?
Well, as civilians, regular listeners know, we are absolutely huge in Canada.
We are.
And
Canadians always win stuff and send us stuff. And so what's that percentage?
I'm going to say 20%.
Okay. 6%.
Ah,
I know.
6% of Canada support the Unmade podcast.
That's not
That's
quite.
amazing.
I don't think that's how the maths works, but all right.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
All right, here's one where I'm going to set a timer. I'll give you 2 minutes. Amongst all our Patreon supporters, there are 20 who are the only person from that country. So, like, there's one person from that country. That happens 20 times. So it's like,
Oh, right. Yeah.
a more obscure country or a rare country. I want to see how many of those 20 countries you can name. So I want to hear countries from which we have only one Patreon supporter. And I'll give you 2 minutes and I'll start the clock now. What do you reckon?
The United States of America.
No, we have more than one.
How many people? Well, this is.
So there's some obscure countries, I think. So
I guess that's right. I guess mentioning, Luxembourg and what else comes to mind? I mean, Belgium, the Netherlands. I mean, we know we have a lot of. We do get more than one. We get a bit of contact from those places. I guess I want to think of places. You could go Iran, Iraq, presuming we're not big in North Korea, or China, or I guess I could go into the sort of Eastern Bloc, Kyrgyzstan, Kazakhstan, all the stans. Can I just name the stans?
No.
The Baltic states?
No, haven't got one yet.
Where would this be? I guess there's Africa, Chad. How huge are we in Chad?
No, I think we're 0 in Chad, unfortunately. Not 1. I want 1. There has to be 1.
Tanzania.
No.
South Africa.
No.
I imagine we'd have maybe more than one. Oh gosh. No, Africa's not bearing any fruit. Ireland and the Great Britain is going to be too popular. There's too many people there. The Ukraine.
Yes.
Whoa, we've got one in the Ukraine.
Yes.
Oh, legend. Well, let's say Russia then as well.
No.
But I think we might have more than one in Russia. Oh, okay. Gosh.
That's your time up, man. That's your time up.
Oh, no.
Yep.
Oh, goodness me. Well, that's difficult. There's either no one in the ones that are more obscure, or there are.
Do you want to hear the ones you could have said where there are one?
Yes.
Brunei, Cyprus, Estonia, Faroe Islands, Guernsey, Greenland, Greece, Hong Kong, Croatia, Hungary, Indonesia, Iceland, Lithuania, Latvia, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, Slovenia, Taiwan, Ukraine.
Oh, okay. So a little bit of Southeast Asia and through the Middle East.
Yeah, and a bit of Europe there.
Hong Kong's not another nation, is it? Isn't Hong Kong part of China now?
For the purposes of that question and my spreadsheet, it is.
Right, okay.
I guess
fair
you
enough.
did say China. Although, no, I can't give you China because they probably are China. Yeah.
More other
Sorry,
people.
man. 1 point.
Geopolitics is often crafted on your spreadsheets.
All right, here's one where I think you might pick up at least a point or two. Actually, you'll pick up some points here. This is the topic of movies.
Oh, okay. All right, here we go.
Now, you're going to get 6 swings at this, so if you get one wrong, it means you can't get one right. You'll see what I mean in a minute. You can only name 6, and once you've done 6, you get no more guesses.
All right.
What 6 color code names are used by the bank robbers in Reservoir Dogs?
Oh, okay. So if I get one wrong,
Yeah.
then I got to stop.
Then
Okay.
you're going to
All right,
lose
well,
one.
this is pretty easy.
Yep.
Okay. So we've got Mr. White,
Yeah.
and we've got Mr. Pink.
Yep.
We've got Mr. Brown.
Yep.
We've got Mr. White, Pink, and Brown. Mr. Blue
Yep.
doesn't play a very high role.
No.
We've got Mr. There's no Mr. Black, and there's no Mr. Purple, because Pink wants to be purple instead, but he's not.
And everyone wants to be Mr. Black.
Everyone wants to be Mr. Black. Yeah. It sounds cool. That's a cool sounding name.
Yeah.
Mr. Blonde.
Yes.
And there's one more who must be... I feel like I'm looking through the guys in my head. That's all the big ones taken, the main characters.
Pretty critical character, this one.
We've got Mr. Blonde, White and Pink, the main characters. And, oh, no, Mr. Orange. Mr. Orange, of course.
You got it.
Yes.
You got all six. All six. Well done.
Woo!
Well done. All right. Now, here's one for you. What film defeated Pulp Fiction to win the 1995 Academy Award for Best Picture? This is a good question for us.
This is a good question for us, yes. I think everyone thinks in retrospect it should be Shawshank Redemption, but actually it was Forrest Gump.
Forrest Gump, correct. Here's another one where you get 3 swings at the 3 correct answers. What were the other 3 nominees?
Oh, golly. This is 1994?
95.
95.
But the films would have come out in 94, wouldn't they, for a 95 Oscar?
Yeah. That's back when they only had 5 nominees for the Oscars, and there were 2 more. Look, I reckon I'm going to go The Lion King.
No.
Or maybe that was the year later that came out in 95. I think that might be right. What else would have been around? There's no more art house films. The Weinstein Cup, the Harvard, the Miramax were doing, they would have just had Pulp Fiction. There was nothing else small and arty. So was there something big and commercial, or was it the same year? No, it was late the next year or the year after for the one set in Africa. I can't think. I can't think what they were.
All right, I'm going to put you as a 0 there, I'm afraid, but I will now tell you a star of each film just to help you get it for fun.
Right, okay.
All right. Hugh Grant.
Oh, 4 Weddings and a Funeral.
Yep.
Yes.
Let's go for Ray Fiennes.
Ray Fiennes. So he was in Schindler's List in 93, but 94, they came out in 94 for 95.
Ray Fiennes and John Turturro.
The film I'm thinking of, I quite like, and I can't think of it. The one in North Africa, with she dies in the aeroplane and all that.
That's The English Patient.
The English Patient, yeah. No, that's a couple of years later, isn't it?
Well, that won Best Picture, didn't it?
Yeah, well, no, that's what I thought. So it's not that, but Ralph Fiennes. No.
Don't get mad at me. I'm not saying it's that.
Did he do it? What other films Ralph Fiennes got business doing in between?
Quiz Show.
Ah, yeah. Okay. Yep.
And the other one, Tim Robbins. You said it.
Tim Robbins? What do you mean?
Yeah. Morgan Freeman.
In The Shawshank Redemption. Yeah.
That was up that year as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I remember that one. But Quiz Show, I'd like to revisit Quiz Show. Was it better than it was? We were a bit underwhelmed at the time, weren't we?
It's a solid film. It's a good film. Okay, next section. You ready? Theology. The Bible.
How many James? Here we go. Back to James. James again.
Well, kind of, because I will give you a point for each of the 12 apostles you can name. I'm using the Gospel of Matthew, but I can freestyle it a bit depending on how you go, because I know they're different across the Gospels, but let's go for the 12 apostles.
The 12 apostles. Oh, this is terrible.
And I'm going to give you 3 minutes. Hang on. 3 minutes from now. Do you want to start naming some?
I was just thinking about them, and there's Peter.
Yep.
And
okay.
James and John.
And John. Yep.
Judas.
Yes. Judas Iscariot. Yep.
Yes. And then there's what is it? Is it James the son of Alphaeus? Is that right? The other.
Yes.
James.
Well done. Yes. 2 Jameses. You're right. Son of Alphaeus.
And then I want to say, oh gosh. Oh, this is terrible. God, this is hard. No, this is. How many is that? 6?
You've done 5.
So 6 to go?
You've got 5. So you've got 7 to go. I don't mind you just throwing names out there, and I'll give you no's if they're not. You don't lose points for wrong guesses or doubling up.
Well, generally speaking, St. Paul is considered to be an apostle after the fact.
No.
When he becomes...
No.
No.
You're not having him.
Thaddeus?
Yes. Well done. Some pretty common names here, like, normal names.
Well, Jeff, Barry. Barry was a favourite. He was very popular, Barry.
You're missing one that starts with B.
No. I can't think.
One of them's a double up. One of them, there's two of these, but one of them, this one changed his name, so there's not two of them because one of the other guys you've already named changed his name.
Well, Peter.
Yeah.
There's not two Peters.
No, but what was Peter called?
Peter was called The Rock. What do you mean? What was he called?
He had another name. He's known by another name, Peter. Like Jesus called Peter, but that wasn't his name. Bit like Prince.
Oh, sorry. Yes, Simon Peter. Yes.
Yes. So there's another apostle called
Peter.
No. Oh,
called
man.
Simon.
Time's up. I'll give you that one. I'll give you the Simon. There's another Simon. Simon the Canaanite.
Oh, right. What are the others?
So you've got 7 there. The ones you didn't name, you'll kick yourself. Matthew, Thomas.
Of course.
Bartholomew.
Oh, yes. That's the B. Yes.
Philip.
Yes.
And Andrew.
And Andrew. Yes.
No. 7's all right.
No, it's not. It's awful.
Okay, the next section, and this is one that people at home are going to struggle with, is Tim and my 1993 high school yearbook. The first...
This is just, if I know more about this than I know about the disciples of Jesus.
In our 1993 final school class photo,
yes,
what 2 people are standing either side of Tim? So who are you standing in between in our final class photo?
I think it's guys because we're up the back, and it's not you because you're a couple of people over. I remember leaning over to shake your hand or something. Tony
and
Sam.
It was Michael and Sam. You get 1 point.
Oh, right. Okay. What a ridiculous question that is.
Here's another one for you. That year, in the annual football match against Temple College,
yes,
our team triumphed 11-7 to 4-3.
Right.
What forward flanking player starred with a best on ground performance, and for a bonus point, how many of the 11 goals did he score? What have we got?
This person has taken his football abilities and developed them into Quiz Master skills.
Right. So who was
which
it?
he gets to control the narrative. Whoever wins history controls the narrative of history.
Yep.
It was Brady Harron.
Yes, that's
and
1 point. How many goals?
Of 11. I'm going to say 6 of the 11 goals.
He did. He scored 6. Well done. Maximum.
And was that
points.
the one where you got a cramp on the last goal?
No, that
or
was
something.
that was a different
different
game.
match.
That was a different game. Okay. In the school magazine Personal Biography, Tim named 3 celebrities that he would be willing to marry or hoped to marry.
Oh, yes.
Who were those 3 celebrities?
Who was that? I think that was Demi Moore. And I'm wondering if it was... This might be the one where I named Jodie Foster and Nicole Kidman.
Yes! It was Demi Moore, Nicole Kidman and Jodie Foster. Well done. 3 points.
There we go.
You're doing way better at this than the Bible.
That's why do I remember the crushes from year 12 that I...
In that same biography of himself, Tim named 2 future goals, 2 ambitions he hoped to accomplish in life. What were they? Okay,
now this requires some commentary. One of them says to become the Prime Minister of Australia.
Correct.
However, that's an edit. I said I wanted to become the President of the Republic of Australia, and that was changed by whatever teacher was editing the school book that year.
Ah.
I know.
They missed the whole point of your political commentary.
I know. I was making a smart political commentary. They're obviously going, oh, poor Tim doesn't understand that it's Prime Minister, not President.
Yeah. But they left Demi Moore, Nicole Kidman and Jodie Foster in.
It's like, oh, he's on the money there. That's right. And I said I wanted to do something else. Is that, I actually think I said I want to make $1 million. Is that right?
I'll give you half a point for that. You said you wanted to make $50 million by the age of 40.
Oh, golly.
Did you get close?
I'm only $50 million behind.
And about 7 years past it.
That's right.
All right.
Oh, dear.
New question. I won't tell you the topic yet. What do these people have in common? Max Verstappen, Pope Adrian VI, who was the Pope in 1522.
Right.
Eddie Van Halen.
Yes.
And Rembrandt.
I'm going to say they're all Dutch.
Correct.
Yeah, there we go.
So, and we've got one more Dutch question for you. I should have said Tim's dad, but that would have made it too obvious. Okay. I'll give you a point. For each Dutch municipality or city or town or big conurbation, you can name that has a population above 200,000. There are 8 of them. There are 8 Dutch cities or places that...
So you do mean like a province? Like
no, not like a province, like a city.
Yeah, like a city. Okay,
yeah.
All right. Well, what is there? There's there's Amsterdam, of course, and there's Enschede, and there's Utrecht.
Enschede is not one, but Utrecht is.
Oh, Enschede is too small, is it? Mm-hmm. There's The Hague.
Yes.
I don't know if Brooklyn is too small.
No, it's not on my list.
Where else in Holland would be over 200,000?
There's 2 more that I would have had a chance of. I'm not saying I would have got them, but there's 2 more I would have had a chance of. 3 I wouldn't have got at all.
I haven't been to Holland since I was 4. I don't think I can think of any more.
I'll give you a clue on one. It also ends with dam.
Oh, Rotterdam, yeah.
Yep.
Sorry, yeah.
Yep.
Good, nice, thank you. And Enschede.
You've got the top 4, so that's good.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know anymore.
Eindhoven.
I don't even know Eindhoven.
Groningen, Tilburg, and Almere. I would have known Eindhoven because one of the best Dutch football teams is PSV Eindhoven.
Right.
4 points. Okay. The next question, or 2 questions, are brought to you by Hover. Hover, the domain registrar of choice for the Unmade podcast.
Woo!
If you ever need to register a domain, do what Tim and I do. Register with Hover. Great interface. Easy to use. We've talked about them all the time. Go to hover.com/unmade. And I have 2 questions for you, Tim.
Yes.
The first one is, I want you to name 3 domain registrars that offer a better service than Hover.
3 that offer a better service than Hover. Mm-hmm. I don't know any that offer a better service than Hover.
Correct. It was a trick question. There are none that offer a better service than Hover. 1 point if you said there are none. And another question, what percentage will people get off their first purchase if they go to hover.com/unmade?
15%.
No.
Or is it 10%?
It's 10%.
Let's re-edit that.
Which is still very generous. Thank you, Hover. Even though you're not giving 15% off, 10% is still very reasonable. And you just cost him a point as well. Seriously, Hover are fantastic supporters of the show, and I know lots of you are using them. Keep using them because that keeps them sponsoring us, and that's just great for the show.
Yes.
Hover.com/unmade. And Tim got 1 point from a possible 2 there.
If people wonder if this show is real or not, you've just left in a mistake I've made about the sponsor. That's just... Oh, classic.
The next question is about KFC.
Here we go.
We've got a few KFC questions, of course.
Whew. I'm on safer ground here.
I'll give you a plus or minus 2 on this one. How old was Colonel Sanders when he died?
Look, he looks pretty old, doesn't he? I mean, he's got a beard, but then again, he's probably eaten a lot of chicken, so not too old. Fried chicken. I'm going to go, for some reason in my mind, I've got 82.
It was 90.
Oh, wow, there you go.
And Tim, for another bonus point, in what US state did the Colonel die?
In what US state? So you're implying that he wasn't then living in Kentucky, where he was from, but I have no reason to believe he would be anywhere else. Unless, of course, all the KFCs in Kentucky were rogue colonels and he would drive to, Mississippi or Tennessee or somewhere to get a better KFC, which would be ironic. But I have no reason to say he wasn't in Kentucky.
Correct, Kentucky.
Nice.
He wasn't born in Kentucky, but he died in Kentucky. And now, here's another one where you can really rack up some points here. I'm going to set a timer, get the timer ready. 2 minutes this time, Tim.
Right.
So don't dilly-dally. We had a leak of the herbs and spices that you used to then make the recipe. So you had to buy all these herbs and spices to make your own homemade KFC. What are the 11 herbs and spices? The time starts now.
I hadn't heard of any of them at the time. So look, there was white pepper.
Yep, white pepper. Yep,
that was a big one. There's heaps. It's pretty much all white pepper. Turmeric?
No.
Oh, really?
No.
Well, what was that funny coloured stuff that was in there then? There was something called. I'm a shocking cook. I don't know these names. There was. I was just looking for names, and I just got the names and pulled them down, and they looked weird. There were things like not rock salt, but other kinds of salt. Like
I'll give you salt. Just normal salt. Normal salt is one.
Well, just salt. Yeah.
Yep.
It's clearly salty.
Yep. There are other kinds of salt.
There was another kind of, so there was some sort of weird salt that I didn't think was salt, like olive salt or something crazy like that.
No.
Or anchovy salt or something that doesn't make any sense. No. There was black pepper.
Yep.
No. Yes.
Yep.
There was some goodness. Goodness is in there. My mum always described food as being packed with goodness.
30 seconds.
There was, what do you call oregano?
Yes.
There was some other stuff too, and I can't remember what it is. I'm thinking about the photo and all the things we spread out. No. There's no rosemary in it.
No.
There's no time. No.
Yes, there was time. Yes.
Is there time?
Oh, yep, you got
nice.
time.
Ironically, I'm out of time.
You are. This just is further proof to me that you just don't listen or pay any attention to what happens in the Unmade podcast. But you get 5.
I actually cooked it for hours. I stood there and put all these things together in a supermarket, and then put it together.
You did the work. Here's the ones you didn't say: basil.
Oh yeah,
celery salt.
Celery salt. That's the weird one. Yeah.
Yeah. Dried mustard. Paprika.
Oh, paprika.
Garlic salt.
Yeah.
Ground ginger.
That's right. There was ginger in
5
it. That
points.
was a surprising one. My goodness me.
This next section is called My Good Friend Brady, who I pay lots of attention to. And I'm going to start the timer. In 2 minutes, I want you to correctly name as many of my YouTube channels as you can. Go.
I know your middle name, if that's helpful. I know you have Number File.
Yes.
There's the periodic videos. There is my favourite scientist.
Oh, wow. That's an obscure one.
Yeah.
Yep.
There is Bible Decks.
Yes.
There is Objectivity.
Oh, yes.
There is, it's not Deep Space Nine, but it's something like that. It's that's one of the Star Treks, isn't it? And there's Brady Harron, The Next Generation. I feel like there's the periodic videos, and then there's the Objectivity, and then there's the more just the what's the main, there's a more sciencey one, like a chemistry one, or is that in the I don't think I can think of any more. I think that's it. You've got like a general one where you put other stuff that's like Brady related and stuff like that, but that's it.
Well, you've still got 15 seconds.
Oh, right, okay. I was looking them up. No, I haven't found them yet, but
okay.
I can't think of any more than that.
Let's call time on that. And that's actually a credit. You got way more than I thought you would. That's 5 points for you, Tim. And for those playing along at home, you can have Number File 2, periodic videos, 60 symbols, computer file, I guess you can have, deep sky videos.
Oh, yeah, that's it, yeah. Deep Space Nine. Yep.
Objectivity, Nottingham Science, Brady stuff is my general one.
Yeah.
I guess maybe you can have Hello Internet and Unmade Podcast. Maybe you could have Bible Decks, Philosophy File, Sci-File, Foodski, Backstage Science, My Favourite Scientist, Words of the World. I guess you can also have our Sofa Shop one, but Tim got 5.
That's not bad, surely.
I'm impressed.
You are impressed? Oh, thank goodness.
Yeah. Yeah. How's your spelling?
I'm not a great speller.
All right.
I like to get the essence of a word more than the spelling.
4 words for you to spell here. First of all, how do you spell TikTok, the video sharing app?
I hate TikTok. TIKTOK, isn't it?
Correct. Well done.
Thank you.
How do you spell Roblox, the online gaming platform? Roblox.
I've never heard of this. Roblox. ROBLOX.
Yes.
Woo! I'm down. I'm down with the cool spelling.
You are down. How do you spell the Canadian singer The Weeknd?
I think the bit is it just TH or THE? Anyway, then it's all the vowels removed. The WKND. Yeah, is that right? WKND. The weekend.
No, he does keep the first two E's.
Oh, does he? The weekend. The week.
Yes.
Okay. Otherwise, it's just a bunch of letters.
It's just one E he loses.
Yeah.
So that's a cross.
And at least he doesn't do what a lot of hip hop artists do, which is change the to that, like THA, like the dog pound.
Or duh.
Yeah.
Duh.
Duh. Yeah.
Duh weekend.
The weekend.
And last one, I want you to spell for me Beelzebub.
Oh, wow. BEE.
An alias of the devil.
Alza. I don't know how he goes from the BE. Just BEEL.
I don't think he particularly cares how it's spelled. Though.
How does he spell it on his name tag when he turns up? I'll just go BEEL Z something BUB. Z Belzy. I'll say Bells A. Belzebub. Belzebub. Maybe
Oh,
I.
you should have gone for an E there instead of an A.
Oh, okay. All right. Belzebub.
You got everything else right. But
Okay.
yeah, your joining vowel was wrong. It's BEELZEBUB. 2 points. Next, I want to talk to you about the year 1976.
Oh, nice.
Good vintage.
Yes, indeed. Aging well.
Good eggs were laid that year. How do you write 1976 in Roman numerals?
Oh, yeah, right. Oh, well, you go XV1111. So that's 19.
Why don't you use your pen and paper here, write it down, and then read me your answer? This is making for great podcasting. It was me that suggested
no,
this.
Yeah. So it's the...
There's no chance I would have got this right, by the way.
I don't know what the 500. So it starts M, because I think M's the 1,000. It's the millennium. And then there would be something for the 500, and then something to take it to the 9, and then, or V1. Let's start at the back. And then, so what's the, I reckon there's a C in there. How do you get 70? I don't know. This is long. I'm trying to picture the end credits of ABC television programs before 2000, where at the end they said copyright and then it had that all written out, and it's really long.
Yeah.
But it's something like MCC, V, something VI. That's how it would be.
Come on, then give us an answer for the sake of.
I did. I just gave you an answer.
Okay.
MCCVVI.
That was incorrect. That was incorrect.
What? Hang on. Let me try again.
It's MCMLXXVI.
So what's the L? The L is the 50. Is that right? The 50, and then you go the 2 up to 2 X's to take it to 70, and then you've got the 6. CM, maybe because the C's before the second M, it comes back 100 years.
It comes back. Does it take? It takes it's 2000, but the C takes 100 off.
That's right.
The 2000.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's very clever.
Okay. No, they were smart dudes, those Romans. There were 2 Olympic Games in 1976, a Winter Olympics and a Summer Olympics.
Oh, yeah.
Because back then they were held in the same year.
Yep.
Where were the two held? Where were they held? The two Olympics.
Was the Summer Olympics in Montreal, or was that 1980?
Correct.
No, Montreal?
No, correct. Yep, correct. 1980 was Moscow.
I stopped following. I mean, I didn't know the Winter Olympics existed until they went to Calgary in 1988.
Yeah.
So I would have no idea. So I'll say somewhere European.
Okay, yeah, go. And if you guess the country, I'll give it to you.
Where would it have likely have gone? In winter? Let me cheat and say Scandinavia somewhere.
No, it was in Austria, Innsbruck.
Oh, okay.
What famous company was formed in 1976 on April the 1st?
This is around the time that, I'm thinking the tech guys are playing in their garages, Microsoft, Apple, that kind of thing. It feels a bit early it wouldn't be let's go with Apple. I'm going to say Apple.
Correct. It was the Apple Computer Company.
There we go.
And it became Apple Computer Inc. in 1977, but it was called the Apple Computer Company in 76. And last but not least, for this section, which Spice Girl was born in 1976?
Oh, golly. I don't know any way to deduce this. But I think all the Spice Girls were a little bit older than us if we're born in 1976. And maybe except for the youngest. So I'll say Baby Spice.
Correct.
That's
well
great.
Deduced. Very well deduced. Well played.
Yes.
All right. This section is the International Organization for Standardization. Basically, the organisation that make official symbols that you then see on street signs and in airports and stuff like that. And I'm going to send you 5 official symbols, and I want you to tell me what these symbols mean. Okay?
Okay. Are these like brand name symbols, or they're what sort of?
No, they're like symbols. They're instructive symbols.
Okay.
I will put them in the show notes if people want to look at them. They'll be on the screen for the YouTube video. And for those who are just listening, Tim will describe them before he has his guess at what they mean.
Yep.
So, Tim, do everyone a solid and tell people what you're seeing and then tell us your guess.
Okay.
Here comes number 1.
Okay, so I'm looking at a what's affectionately known, I think, as the Ghostbusters sign, except instead of a ghost, there is a cigarette. So this is a no smoking sign.
Correct. No smoking. Here's the next one.
Oh, so this is the same sort of Ghostbusters sign, the red circle with a line through it. And then there's a rope that's hanging down in the middle of it in a knot. So I guess no tying knots. It could be, why would there be a sign saying no tying knots in rope? Perhaps on a port or a barge where it's very important the ropes are kept very clean, ready to be used. So no tying knots in the rope.
Exactly. That means no tying knots in the rope.
Nice.
Well done.
I'm looking for some deeper existential meaning. It's literally just a rope with a knot in it.
What are you seeing now?
Oh, right. Okay. So this is a triangle. Often looks like a road sign. It's yellow. The pointy bit of the triangle is at the top. And then in the middle, it's got like what looks like a little explosion. Like it's almost like if a bug has flown along and gone splat onto it. So maybe it's a warning about dynamite being used in the area.
That is the sign for a laser beam.
Oh, yeah, there's a line coming in from the side. No.
That's the laser beam.
Yeah.
That's going out, I think.
Right.
Don't look at me, man. I've always thought that was a stupid sign for laser beams.
Oh, totally.
What's this one mean?
Right. Well, this one I know. This is the same sort of triangle, yellow, sign again, but in this case, there's a bull. So this is what you'd put on a paddock to warn people that there's a bull in that paddock. So be careful if you're crossing it.
But you're right. It is the sign. I can't believe they have an official sign for a bull, but yep, it's the sign for bull. And here's the 5th one. What does this one mean?
All right. This is back to the Ghostbusters sign again, but it seems to have oh, okay. So this is like a hip bone and a hip joint, but someone's had an orthopedic surgeon put in a new hip. So I imagine this is saying anyone with a steel hip, they're going to go through, it's going to be a warning to not bring something metallic into the area. It's going to be on one of those metal detectors or something like that. You can't come through here if you've got a metal hip.
You're right. It means no access for people with metallic implants.
Right.
4 points. Well played.
What sort of thing's going on that people can't go in? I mean, There might be a sign warning people it's going to go off, like you've got some,
Well, you wouldn't be able to go into an MRI scanner because the magnets would rip the stuff out of your body, maybe. I don't know.
Oh, indeed, yeah. Okay. It also looks a little bit like someone eating a black ice cream or singing into a microphone.
That's what I was hoping you might get foxed, but I forget you spend so much time with old people that, hip joints and replacements are just like, commonplace for you.
I was literally talking with a retired orthopedic surgeon today here just outside my office.
Okay, our next section is literature. And you can have a question here about something I know you're interested in, the Booker Prize. The Booker Prize is awarded for the best novel written in English and published in the United Kingdom or Ireland. It used to just be open to sort of Commonwealth citizens, but in 2014 they widened it to just English language novels, just for people who don't know. But it's a writing prize for novels. 5 authors have won the Booker Prize twice. I'll give you a point for each one you can name, and I'll start a 2-minute timer about now.
Margaret Atwood has won it twice.
Yep.
Ian... Oh, no, hang on. Has Ian McEwan? No. He won it for Amsterdam. Ooh, that's annoying. I don't know. Salman Rushdie hasn't won it twice. Who else has won it twice?
No.
Australian Peter Carey has won it twice.
Indeed, correct.
J.M. Coetzee has won it twice.
Yes.
I don't think Ian McEwan won it twice, but maybe he did. No, I think he only won it for Amsterdam.
No.
Yeah. He's been nominated again. A lot of these people have been nominated multiple times.
Yes. Any names popping into your head? Who've you read?
There's no one. I've read nearly all of them, but I don't remember because I had a book club where we systematically worked through them. That's why. But I don't remember who else has won it twice.
Well, who are some books you've read once and maybe they won it twice and you don't realise? You've got 15 seconds.
Well, Iris Murdoch.
No.
Or John Banville. Or Ian McEwan, but we said
There's your time up.
Okay.
There's your time up.
Who were the other two?
You got 3, which is pretty good. The other 2 were J.G. Farrell
All right.
and Hilary Mantel.
Oh, of course. She won it recently. Yeah. That's after our book club closed, and I don't remember the other guy at all. We mustn't have got to his stuff.
Here is I invited stakeholders to submit a question, and this one came from Colonel Katrina herself.
Oh, dear. Yes.
Colonel Katrina wants to know, in the book, The Very Hungry Caterpillar, name 3 things that the caterpillar ate on Saturday.
Lettuce?
No.
Oh. Well, doesn't he start with lettuce? Doesn't he munch through the lettuce and then work
but on
through?
Saturday, I think on Saturday he goes off piste and just goes crazy eating all sorts of normal stuff,
Oh, okay. Oh, my girl.
He goes on a feast on Saturday and eats lots of unhealthy stuff. And let me start a timer because you're obviously going to have to do some serious guessing here.
Oh, yes, okay.
I'll start a 2-minute timer. And I've given you a bit of a clue by saying it's unhealthy stuff. Think of unhealthy things you'd eat in a children's book.
Yes, I guess it would be something like a little cupcake.
Yes, a cupcake. A cupcake, yep.
A 3-piece feed from KFC.
No. Well, that would be nice.
Ooh. I feel like I want to say a tomato, but perhaps that's one of the other days.
No.
Or an apple, those sorts of things. What else happens on that day?
Think less healthy.
A sausage? Is a sausage one of them?
Yes, a sausage.
Oh, this is the deep recesses of my sleep-deprived mind many years ago with the kids.
Yeah.
It was nothing more contemporary like chips or anything like that. They were more sort of...
No chips.
Classically yummy old stuff. Was it something like treacle or pancakes or something? No, I don't.
No, haven't got those.
I think I've come up stumps then. I'm stumped.
Stumped? Just name some yummy stuff. That's something you'd like to eat? Or
Quarter pounder.
No.
Jelly. Ice cream.
Yep, I'll give you that. Ice cream cone was one. I'll give you ice cream.
Oh, okay. Yep. Pavlova is presumably not known by the author. Sweets.
No.
Like lollies. That kind of thing.
Oh, okay. I'll give you a lollipop. Yep, lollipop.
Oh, yeah. A jam Berliner from Balfour's in South Australia. No.
Oh, I'd love one of those right now, though.
All right, I'll put one in the post for you.
Alright.
What other stuff do you have? This, this sort of.
There's your time. There's your time's up.
What else?
So you got 4 there. The full list is a piece of chocolate cake, ice cream cone, a pickle, a slice of Swiss cheese, a slice of salami, 1 lollipop, a piece of cherry pie, a sausage, a cupcake, and a slice of watermelon.
Oh, yeah, okay. I remember the watermelon.
All right, this next section is called magnitude. I want you to guess some numbers, and you have to get within 10%. You got a 10% buffer. All right?
What do you mean? You're going to give me sums or?
I'll give you a question,
Yeah.
and the answer is a number, which
Right.
I don't expect you could possibly know. But if you get within 10%, I'll give it to you.
And is this something where you would have known the answer, or is this like a non? Like
I wouldn't have got these. No, I wouldn't have got these.
Okay, they're not well-known numbers
Okay.
like pi or something. This is like a
No,
1 million times 5 million.
So
Yep.
if you let me ask one, you'll get the idea.
Correct.
All right, here we go. How many stairs from the ground to the top of the Eiffel Tower? This is not how many you're allowed to climb. You're only allowed to climb a certain number of them. You can't climb all the way to the top. But if you can climb to the top, how many stairs? Ground to the top of the Eiffel Tower.
The very tip, not just to that base area where you. Okay.
No, up to the top. Up to the top.
All right. So I could do some thinking. What is it, like 100 meters up or more? And
I don't know.
a step is a few. It's like let's say 3. Oh, look, it's going to be about 1,000. 1,000?
1,000's your guess. Okay. I'm afraid you haven't scored the points there, but your thinking wasn't terrible. It's 1,665.
Well, that's not
So
bad.
you're in the right magnitude. So 1,665, but you didn't get within the 10% there. So,
Okay.
but your thinking was good. How many moons does Saturn have?
This is where my whole life I would have said 8, but I feel like, or is it Jupiter that? No, it's Saturn that has. No, Saturn has. Which is the one with all the moons? Is it Jupiter that has all the moons, or is it Saturn that has all the moons?
I'll tell you, they both have a lot of moons.
They both have a lot of moons. I feel like one of them has more. I feel like I want to say 8, but then I feel like you've told me at some stage in the last few years that there's actually like one more, or there's actually many more, or something that you've just hidden somewhere and found. But I'll go with 8.
I'm afraid you're quite a distance off there. Saturn has 83 moons.
That's what I said. 80.
And lastly, how many Instagram followers does Audrey, my chihuahua, have?
This is one of those vast numbers. For a dog, it's surprisingly large. It's very impressive. I want to say, it's probably much more than this, but I feel like I want to say 1,500, but I think it might be a few thousand. Am I right? Yeah.
1,500?
1,500 is what I'm saying.
It's 11,100.
She is quite the influencer. Yes.
She is quite the influencer. We're getting near the end. This section is called Postcodes.
Right.
What is the postcode for Beverly Hills?
90210.
Correct. What is the postcode for the Adelaide Oval? The big stadium in the centre of Adelaide.
I assume it's 5,000. It's in the CBD. It's in North Adelaide, though, technically, though, isn't it? Is that 5,001 or something? No, I'm going to say 5,000.
It's 5,006.
Ooh, gosh.
What is the postcode for Malvern Uniting Church?
5061.
Correct. And lastly, what is the postcode for Wimbledon where they hold the tennis tournament?
How am I going to know?
There's a chance you might know this because quite often they refer to it by its postcode rather than Wimbledon. It's like a bit of a nickname for it.
Okay. Well, let me think about this, because the postcodes sort of have letters in them. They look like sort of complicated. They look more like number plates than they do postcodes for the UK. So I'm going to say it's something like, WW001 or something like that. Is that right?
It's SW19.
Okay.
So usually,
Yeah.
it usually refers to what part of London it's in. So SW means southwest, and 19 is usually an idea of how far out it is.
Yes.
SW19.
Okay.
2 points for you there, Tim. This is the last section.
Whoa.
Here's the last section.
Gosh, that's come quick. Everyone listening's going, are you serious? No, it hasn't. At last.
Here are the last lines from films, and I want you to tell me what film they're from.
Oh, cool. This is nice. Yes.
I do wish we could chat longer, but I'm having an old friend for dinner.
That is Hannibal Lecter from The Silence of the Lambs.
Correct. Roads. Where we're going, we don't need roads.
Ooh, that is Back to the Future.
Yes. Ernest Hemingway once wrote, "The world is a fine place and worth fighting for." I agree with the second part.
Yes. Now, what's this? I know this. Ernest Hemingway. This is The Shawshank Redemption. That's Red talking.
No.
Isn't it Red talking?
No. No, but it's
It's Morgan Freeman, though, isn't it? I can hear him saying
Yes.
it. Yes.
It is Morgan Freeman.
Hang on, give me another chance. Give me another chance.
No, you've lost it. You can try to figure it out.
Hang on. Oh, no. I know. 7. It's 7.
It was 7.
Yes.
You didn't get the point. How about this?
He's the master of the voiceover.
I hope to see my friend and shake his hand. I hope the Pacific is as blue as it has been in my dreams. I hope.
Yes, that's The Shawshank Redemption. Yes.
Yes. Morgan Freeman strikes again. What film has the last line, "I'll be right here"?
Ah, that's a good one. I'll be right here. Forrest Gump.
No.
Oh,
I'll act it out for you this time, man, and I'll try and do the voice. You watching?
yeah.
I'll be right here.
Ah, E.T.
Yeah. So 3 points there.
I'm thinking Forrest Gump because, he's near the grave at the end and... Oh, no, but then he goes...
Yeah.
He's, I'll be right here or something. But, of course, then there's that little epilogue with the kid catching the bus and stuff. So, with the feather again.
Yeah.
That's a good one. I could do that last section for an hour. I like that. That's a good one.
All right. How many points did you score? Shall I add it up?
Yes, indeed.
If my calculations are correct, which they may well not be,
Yes.
I reckon you got 74 points.
Out of a possible...
Oh, I don't know. I don't know that.
Well, that doesn't mean anything then.
Well, it does to the people who are playing against you.
Ah, right. Okay.
Like,
yes.
So people playing at home who are keeping their own tally, see if they can outdo Tim's 74.
74.
How'd you feel about that quiz? Was that all right? What were your reflections? Anything that was fair, unfair, enjoyable, not enjoyable?
It was all fair, and I really enjoyed it. And I'm kicking myself at a few points. But that's the point of a quiz, that things you should know you can't put your mind on, even if they're bleeding obvious at other times. No, that was good. I like that a lot.
All right.
It's a good one asking about things I know about me. There's that classic Friends episode. Have you seen that when the girls are playing the boys for the apartment in Friends? And then at one stage they just say, "What is Chandler's job?"
Yeah.
And they're totally stumped. Their best friend. And they've got no idea what his job is.
I've been watching, I don't think you watch it, but I've been watching Married at First Sight Australia. It's a bit of a phenomenon over here.
Right.
And there was a couple that got married, and they'd been married for, I reckon, 2 or 3 weeks. And the guy was saying to the woman, "I think you're a bit self-centered. You're a bit all about yourself, and you don't." And she was saying, "No, I'm not. I'm a really good wife. I care, and I'm a good person." He's like, "No, you're completely self-absorbed." And she was saying she wasn't. And then he just turned to her and said, "What's my job?" They'd been married 3 weeks, and she had no idea what his job was. So it's the exact same thing.
Oh, that's classic.
Well, let us know how you did on the quiz, people. Post some of your scores and your answers and things like that. I love a good quiz. I love it. I promise I won't do them too often, but we'd like the occasional bean dish quiz.
We could make every episode this if you like. I just love this. This is fantastic. I love quiz too.
I think we might see a bit of a drop off in our listener figures if we did that, but yeah.
It could be another podcast and we just give it a go. I do like it. I think people seem to like it when we unmake podcasts rather than make them, man. That seems to be our particular wheelhouse. Yes. Thank you for that. Thank you for the work. I really appreciate you preparing all that.
I love it. I can't get enough of it. Thank you, people, for listening. A reminder, thanks to Hover, because we didn't give them a very proper ad this time. Consider them, people, hover.com/unmade, and become a Patreon supporter, patreon.com/unmadefm. We do all sorts of fun things there, and just quietly, I haven't even told Tim about this yet, but I've worked on another special little gift to send out to patrons and Patreon supporters that's currently in production at a little workshop not far from my house. Another good reason to become a supporter.
Oh, wow.
I'll fill you in later.
Right. So the
Considering it's being paid for from our budget, so I probably should tell you at some point.
The Patreon supporters know more about what's happening with our plans than I do.